I was blackmailed and abandoned in court by Thompson's solicitor and Unison. I was a Unison member. Part of my membership was representation of work-related problems or employment, and Unison membership financial help. Unison fully aware about bullying and harassment in my workplace at the Southeast Hospital NHS Trust X-ray department. Me and my direct colleague raised grievance complaint about bullying. I was bullied and harassed and victimized at work, and I cannot cope anymore, and I was advised to go for gardening leave. Then on the 26th of December, I collapsed at home and still tried to go back to work because I'm worried I will lose my job. Unfortunately, I was very ill and unable to return to work. On the 13th of April, I wrote letter to Margaret Toss, Unison secretary, no reply. I made several telephone calls, left messages in her office, no reply. My husband telephoned Margaret Toss, also left messages, no reply. He telephoned in her house and spoke to her husband and left messages. Margaret Toss ignored and refused to reply. On the 19th of May, I got on the bus. Margaret Toss was on the bus. She asked me to go in her office and discuss about my work problem. She told me that I cannot come back to work. There's no job for me. Everything was changed. Don't think about it, that you can come back to work. She repeated these words 3 times. Unison waited my statutory sick pay runs out and refused to provide help and advice. My statutory sick pay runs out and I was sacked while I was on sick leave, and I don't know what to do. I did not receive advice from Unison and no rule book, and I paid my membership direct to Unison Newcastle office and received by Gail Hill, Unison manager. She seized my membership. She said I'm no longer a Unison member, but she took my money. I presented my claim against Unison in the tribunal. It was represented by Thompson's solicitor Ian Birrell. Then they made an offer that they would represent my unfair dismissal. The deadline is 17th of May, and other employment problem. I accept the offer through ACAS. Then, after I signed the agreement, Unison and Thompson solicitor Ian Birrell delayed my claim in the tribunal and also refused my financial help, which is part of the Unison membership and agreement. Andrew Lightbourne, Thompson solicitor, took over my case. I provided him all witnesses' statement, information, access to all my medical records, GP, X-ray, counseling records, and others. I keep telephoning in his office. Nobody reply. Wrote letters. No reply. It almost 6 months that nobody told me that Andrew Lightbourne left Newcastle office and moved to London. Thompson solicitors and Unison deliberately, intentionally delayed my claim and abandoned me for 6 months by Andrew Lightburn. Guss took over my case. He also delayed my claim. He kept asking 3 consent forms to access my GP records. In fact, he did not send all the consent forms to my GP. In the tribunal, Guss and MIlnes forced me to drop my case. If I will proceed my claim in the tribunal, they refused to represent me. I have no choice to accept to drop the case, and I was forced to resign against my will. MIlnes and Guss advised me I have a personal injury claim against Southeast Hospital NHS Trust. After I signed the agreement, I was passed on to another solicitor, Andrew MacDonald, in Middlesbrough of Thompson Solicitors. He refused to have a meeting with me. He refused to represent my personal injury claim, and he abandoned me in court. I wrote letters to Unison, telephone calls. They refused and ignored to reply my letters and refused to take my calls. I lodged my claim in the tribunal against Unison and Thompson Solicitor for breaching the ACAS agreement. At the hearing, I wasn't allowed to ask questions to the defendants by Judge Barton. Judge Barton's reserved judgment was greatly biased and unjust. I lodged my appeal in the Appeal Employment Tribunal. The defendants, Unison and Thompson Solicitor, abused the process, never filed a response or defense, and my claim was dismissed in the tribunal. I did not receive a fair trial. Now, I presented my claim at the Court of Appeal in London. It was a blackmail and betrayal by Unison and Thompson Solicitor. They coerced me to sign an agreement, then abandon me in court. I stand up in court about my personal injury claim against Southeast Hospital because Unison and Thompson Solicitor abandoned me in court. They were in collusion with my former employer, Southeast Hospital NHS Trust. Thank you.